Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, ladies and gentlemen. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. What's going on, everybody? Yes, this is the first day back by the lawyers in the YSL case, and I just left the courtroom where we had the newly assigned judge, Judge Paige Whitaker, who was able to at least introduce herself to, for those who don't know, the judge's work. I, on the other hand, have been covering Judge Whitaker over the years. And one thing I can tell you from the takeaway from today is she's not wasting any time. She's going to have this calendar move. And based on what I know this judge to be, is a efficient and effective jurist. And this case will probably be over before the end of the year. For those who don't know, this case was televised. And for you who have not watched, let's say, yo, Judge Judy was 8 years ago. For you who have been watching this case, will know that it's been a lot of things wasted, a lot of time wasted, a lot of just too much waste. The judge is going to be cutting down the fat in this case. She's made it very clear that she's starting the courtroom, She's starting the courtroom at 8:45 and she's ending at 6 p.m. She said everyone must be there on time, and she doesn't play because then people will see what she does when they're late. Comfort breaks, they're probably gonna be cut down in half. So there was a lot that came out. Also what came out today is that Brian Steele filed a motion to have both DA Love and Hilton recused from the case. So he doesn't want them to be a part of the case because he said he's going to call them as witnesses. That's going to be interesting. He's going to call them as witnesses, so how can they then be a part of the case? And remember, Prosecutor Love, she's in charge of the division. So I don't know how that's going to work. But the judge is going to have to make that call. She's going to look at all the evidence, and she's going to make her decision. It was also another point in the hearing where there was a question, I think, that was brought up by the judge regarding the amount of witnesses. Now, the witnesses by the prosecution was estimated to be about 200 to 200 witnesses. Only 50 witnesses have been called. The judge said, listen, we're not going to be doing cumulative witnesses, and she's going to make the final decision, and she has the power as the judge in the case to use the law to cut down the witness list if it's cumulative. So what I think is what's going to happen is they're going to have to put a whole chart together and see what witness is really significant to the particular acts that each defendant has been charged with, and the judge is going to have to make the final call. And she's also going to have to review the transcripts and see what other witnesses have said already, because there's a lot of witnesses who gave testimony from the start of the case that it may not even be necessary to bring in other witnesses to support it, because you would think that if you're 18 months into the case already, or 9 months of trial, then you would have had to put most of the key evidence or key witnesses in the beginning. So now the judge is going to look at all that, and she's also, while she says she hasn't watched the case, she's heard a lot of back and forth between attorneys and all the conversations going on in the courtroom or in the courthouse regarding how this case has been going. So I do think that she's going to move this case expeditiously. As she said, she's going to move this case expeditiously, and whatever was happening before, that judge, she moves a little differently, and she's going to make a name for herself, because like this case, I cover high profile cases with her. As a matter of fact, I want to say it was a case involving Ludacris, but I do have camera coverage of her, and I may do it as a throwback to show people, just how she runs a courtroom. She doesn't really you know, while she has a very jovial appearance on the bench, when when it get down to the business, she's not even wasting anybody's time. She's going to pretty much uh, call the balls and the strikes and keep it moving. With that said, there was a point in the case where not the case, but the hearing where I think the judge had concluded with asking questions of both the prosecution and defense, and I had to bring up a question as it relates to members of the press, as it relates to taking pictures of certain witnesses. While there were two lawyers, one Doug Weinstein as well as attorney Bruce Harvey, who doesn't want any witnesses to be excluded from the media. They want all the witnesses to take the stand to be able to be recorded. Well, the prosecution had an issue with that, and of course, Judge Glanville ruled in favor of the prosecution's request to be able to black out certain witnesses. So for me, when I walk in the courtroom and I start taking pictures, I want to make sure that I know that a particular witness is not being photographed, because I don't want to violate any orders. And now you got to remember, Judge Glanville gave certain orders. Now Judge Whitaker will have to look at what the orders were, and maybe she may want to rescind that order, because she can rescind the judge's order, because she's now the referee in this case. And there may be things that have happened in the past that she may not be on board with in moving this case forward, even also to preserve the defendant's rights. In this case, she's going to have to look at everything in totality and say, wait, hey, the judge made a mistake here. I can't in all honesty go forward and start piggybacking off what the judge said. And I respect that about her, because she's an independent, no different than Judge Krause. While Judge Krause was kind of soft shoeing her ruling, but she still favored the defense, Judge Whitaker will also be the type of judge, in my opinion, that will call the balls and call the strikes and not play any games. And she also said, I don't know if anyone picked it up and was watching today, but she also said that she want all the attorneys, while she had seen some parts where there was some disrespect. She didn't say what side, prosecution or defense, but she did say that she's not going to tolerate pretty much any disrespect amongst the lawyers, all members of the bar, and she wants everyone to have a proper courtroom decorum, which makes sense. But I can also tell you that I saw there was tension still in the room with Hilton and Love there. There was a point in the hearing where the judge had asked a question and a prosecution responded, and the defense said, no. As a matter of fact, the attorney, D. Williams, the attorney representing Rodarius Ryan, I hope I'm not jacking his name, Rodarius Ryan, she's not here today, but there's another attorney there who is representing Rodarius Ryan, and I don't know if D. Williams is even coming back. We don't know. But she also challenged the prosecution's claim that there was no issue with a certain evidence or a certain witness or issue. Now, the judge now has to look at the transcript, and she's going to have to listen to what the lawyers are arguing. But there's going to be an opportunity there, and I already see what was going to happen. The lawyers who weren't able to get certain things in, they're going to try to re-argue the issue. The judge said, listen, I'm not going to go back and review all the judge's orders. The judge's orders are going to be what the orders are. I don't know if she can do that fairly, because there may be some issues there, and maybe that could be something down the road on appeal. But I think right now the judge has to get a hold of this case. I think the judge is going to do she's starting at 8:45. She's not even playing games. She said, listen, I'm coming at 8:45. I don't care if you have 6 attorneys in part of your team. The first one is coming in. That's the attorney that once he's in the he or she's in the building, we're starting the case. So that should hopefully make the case more efficient and make it more effective. But we're going to see. And there was also discussions about when the case will actually start back with the jurors. And initially it was August 5th, but the judge said maybe it won't start exactly August 5th. So that means the juror is going to be out for over a month and a half because they were supposed to come back July 29th. But it doesn't look like they're going to come back until after August 5th. And that's all depending on what happens on the 29th when, the lawyers are coming back into pretty much do more house cleaning and seeing where they need to be at in this case. Something else I want to point out is the judge also said that she would, if there's any opportunity for a plea deal on both sides, if it's a mutually agreed plea deal, if it's a situation where the prosecution may offer a plea deal or the defense may have something they want to propose. Whatever the case is, the judge is going to look at it. But she says she's ready to go to trial, whatever it is. So she's in. She's not trying to recuse herself, unless there's something that's coming out, which I don't think there is, because something else that people hadn't reported. This judge, a particular judge, was in another division prior to coming over to the criminal side. I think she was doing family court or civil court, but she wasn't on the criminal side. So she came off of that side to come over here and do the criminal side of this case, which is going to be interesting because when I covered her case before, she was on the family court side. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see how this thing goes. There was something else that happened in the court. It's not really, it's not relative to the case, but the YouTuber was there, and apparently she was upset about someone showing up. But I will say that I didn't tell anyone to show up. Me personally, they showed up because they wanted to show up. I'm solo. I'm solo dolo. So they showed up. They showed up on their own. I had nothing to do with that. And I would say that that YouTuber has shown that she is in for the long haul. And I agree. This is now her, this is her job pretty much. So yeah, this is, she's pretty much proven that she's not there just there fly by night. She's there for the long haul. And I would agree that if this is what she does, which is what she does, you gotta respect that. Because I don't want no one interfering in my work, even though I did have someone interfere in my work, and I did bring to the person's attention. And you saw how that situation ended up. But with that said, we all have a purpose there. There are some people that are coming in after the fact. And I also want to point out that, for example, attorney Kayla Bumpus, she is now an attorney and YouTuber. So she is someone she was trying to fly, according to what someone told me, she was trying to fly in to be in the courtroom today. So I guess she's trying to be in the media landscape, so to speak. I guess that's all I can really, she's a YouTuber now. So I would guess that no different than the other individual, if that person is going to be dedicated to coming in and covering the case, then that's what they need to do. But if you're just coming in, if your agenda is not there to cover the case, then you probably shouldn't be there. So with that said, I think that anyone that's sincere and serious about this case, because again, we're covering a story that many people don't have access to, and many people want to know what's going on inside the courtroom. They have people that they respect in reporting the story, and they want to be able to trust the information that's coming out the courtroom. And I agree. I think that anyone covering the case should be open, honest, and transparent. Don't embellish on anything that's happening in the courtroom, because there are cameras there. And if you didn't see it on the camera, and someone's reporting it, unless they are on the person's saying something on the record, then you got to take that, with a grain of salt. Because if someone's ear hustling and they heard something, I wouldn't take that because someone's talking privately with someone else and someone's listening and they heard something and then they're going back to report it. I don't do that. No, I'm not going to do that. That's private conversation. If you're ear hustling, that's one thing. If you can get that to put on the record and you say, hey, I just heard you say this. They say, no, that was the conversation I was having with someone else. Then you can't be reporting on that, because then you don't know the who's on the other end of the phone call. That's the thing about eavesdropping. You don't know who's on the other end of the phone call. You can hear someone, he could be on the phone faking it to see if you're reporting it. Just faking on the other line, like they're not even talking on the phone. So you have to be very careful. I just say that because I did hear somebody say that they overheard something, and if it wasn't said to them directly, it's kind of, disingenuous to be reporting on something like that because you don't know who's on the other line. You don't know what you need both sides to be able to, if it was saying in an open room and where everyone else can hear it, that makes sense. But not just because you're ear hustling. That's not how I rock. Hopefully you guys get where I'm going with this. But with that said, there are a lot of people that are more interested in this case than they were in the very beginning. I get that. It's an interesting case. It's a case that is being watched around the world, and it's being broadcast from different perspectives. A lot of you are doing a good job in doing your recap based on what you see from the streaming from the courtroom. But I always say, when you're actually there, you have a different, you get a different perspective because some of the things the camera doesn't pick up. The camera doesn't pick up everything. And some of the things, like, for example, I just posted it in the thumbnail, who was in the courtroom, some of the reporters. You had AJC, you had Michael Snyder from, I want to say CBS, you had Infamous, you had a new intern from AJC there, and you had another reporter there. So you had like 4 or 5 reporters there, as well as shout out to Maurice from Law and Crime, who's been the steady cameraman in the courtroom. Shout out to Maurice from Law and Crime, who's been the steady streaming cameraman in the courtroom. I shoot my content, but Maurice is just the streaming camera guy in the courtroom. So when people say, "Oh, who shot that?" No. My rule is for my camera. I own my content. That is Law and Crime, who is shooting for the general public, and that content is shared around the world. Everyone shout out Maurice, who's the current cameraman in the courtroom. And if he takes a break, then it'll probably be Tony to come in or one of the other cameramen. But yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions? If you guys have any questions, please ask the questions. I'm sorry I haven't been online. I've been taping the show. I've been doing a few other things. So that's why you guys haven't seen me on YouTube. I know the YouTube streets are being hot. I've been sitting back watching people doing the reporting on this case and another case, and I'm just kind of interesting as I watch all the people that are interested in courtroom coverage now. When I've been doing this for, oh my goodness, for close to in the courtrooms in Fulton County for almost 20 years. So it's interesting to watch all the people now coming in and wanting to cover these cases and courtroom cases. It wasn't really that many people interested in covering the cases, more so than watching like the big dogs like Court TV or Law and Crime is relatively new. I would say they're about 3 years in, but courtroom coverage wasn't something that people were really interested in. Something I was interested in a long time, covering cases in New York. I was always interested in covering high profile cases. And this goes back to the 90s, like really in the courtroom in the 90s when OJ was on trial. So I was doing this. So it's real interesting that I can sit back and watch other people now interested in the legal system and understand the various ways cases are won and lost, the nuances of how these judges make these rulings. And this case in particular, the YSL case, is important because now they're using this whole RICO case, a case that the whole RICO statute, something that was established back in New York with Rudy Giuliani going after the mafia. So it's very interesting that people are now interested in covering courtroom cases. A lot of you won't say, those who know, and they can check YouTube and see who was one of the first persons on the internet covering courtroom cases in the media. I'm probably the only black journalist, independent journalist in the world who's been covering courtroom cases with a camera in the world. And I don't say the world, let's say America. In America, and this is true, this is fact, with camera footage that I own. Only one in America that have actually had cameras in the courtroom way back when. So it's interesting when I see the different people that are coming in and interested in covering. I think it's important. I think it's educational. I think more people should understand the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. They should understand also how these rulings affect individuals, because most of these rulings coming out of this case are covered under the first 10 amendments of the Constitution, which is the Bill of Rights. And then when you're talking about search and seizure, Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, self-incrimination, taking the Fifth, or the Sixth. The Sixth Amendment, as far as right to have a lawyer, or the Seventh, the Eighth, the Ninth, the 10th. The Bill of Rights is very important. A lot of times people don't really focus on what are the Bill of Rights. What are your Bill of Rights? How important are the Bill of Rights for you as a citizen in America? When is the Bill of Rights applicable? When is it applicable to you as a citizen in America? Guess what? When you walk in that courtroom, when you're trying to say something, they say you can't say nothing. Well, your First Amendment. When you're part of the media, your First Amendment. When you want to defend yourself, your Second Amendment. So it's important to understand your Bill of Rights. But anyway, let me see if you guys have questions here. Hold on, stand by. Yeah. Hey, that's right. That's a fact. That is a fact. When YouTube took my membership out for this, I said, "Who is that? What they do?" Okay, I've been. Okay. D, what's up? What's up? Kia Elder. What happened? YouTube has deleted all her videos. What? Oh yeah. Okay, I'm laughing because the judge did. Well, hold on. This is funny too. Hold on. I gotta speak. I gotta say this. I'm sorry, guys. I should probably have my tablet there. Probably did on my tablet. So the Judge Whitaker. So this is what the sheriff department was complaining about, that the defendants are getting many different wardrobe changes, and I think probably Young Thug, and probably Yacht Gotti are getting the most wardrobe changes because they're both they're both entertainers, and probably one or two of the other defendants, but yeah, they're getting a lot of clothes, and the judge is saying 5 days a week, but you got to change these clothes out. Like you got Monday's outfit, Tuesday's outfit, Wednesdays, the Thursdays, the Fridays. Well, the sheriff department's complaining because they don't have the storage. They don't have the storage, and Mariah DeScience is bringing Young Thug all kind of wardrobes. He's bringing wardrobes with prints and everything else on it. I get that, and I think while the sheriff department want to keep control over that, these guys are fighting for their life, and the way they look is how the jurors are going to perceive them. So I get they want to change their clothes. They want to feel like, hey, we don't have bonds, so we want to be able to feel like we in the free world, and we can represent ourselves. And these jurors don't know that these guys are locked up. At least I don't think they know. They shouldn't know, but because when they come out, when they street civvies, they are viewed differently than they have to wear their prison garb. Someone did say that Kayla Bumpus had a videos taken down. That's interesting. That's real interesting. If that did happen, I don't know if it happened or not, but if that did happen, that's very interesting. Did she take them down, or is she saying someone taking? I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. Cardi couldn't get none of those videos taken down, so I don't know why they're targeting her. And it has to be. I don't know. I don't want to even speculate because I need more information. But if that's the case, and I see a few of you are saying that, that's interesting that she's being targeted with her videos being removed. Who would be doing that? Who would be doing that? Well, she's a lawyer. She can do her own investigation. She can do her own investigation because she can say, hey, listen, she's gonna say she's covered under the member of the press, and she doesn't have Rule 22s, but she's giving commentary like no different than anyone else giving commentary. The lead attorney's giving commentary. Erica King is giving commentary. Is it Erica King? Melanie King. I'm sorry, not Erica King. That's the other girl. Melanie King. She's giving commentary, and it's a lot of you giving commentary. why would anyone have an issue with that unless there's content in there that shouldn't be in there? Is she playing music that shouldn't be in there? I don't know. I can't really call that one, but the fact, oh, my eyes running. Whew. I'm not crying, ladies and gentlemen. I put drops in it earlier. The fact that her, and this is what you guys are saying. I haven't seen it. The videos are coming down. It's interesting. I don't know what that's all about. I do not know what that's all about. But she's an attorney. She should investigate that, because if someone's doing that intentionally, she needs to put them on blast. Find out who the hell's doing it. Who is doing it? You know, just like she's trying to fly to Atlanta, she did fly to California and go to YouTube headquarters and say, "Hey, what's going on? I'm an attorney. What are you guys doing? This is how I make my money." Well, that's not really how she makes money, or is it? I don't know. Hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App. Okay, let's see here. I know. No, it's Melanie King. I know Eric King, who she is. There's so many Kings in there, you know. Listen, I know who I'm talking. I know who I'm talking about. Yeah. She said someone took me down. What's a sick pair of glasses, G? Oh, that's a sick pair of glasses, G. Sick pair? Is that sick good? Like, yo, that's a sick pair of glasses, or is that sick? They're sick. These are actually prescription. These are actually prescription. Aaliyah TV, listen, your membership expired. You better get back in there. You better get back in there. I'm calling people out now. You won my first. No pressure, Aaliyah TV. I'm just messing with you. Let's see here. Let's see here. Sometimes you gotta take a break. Sometimes you gotta, sometimes you gotta bounce. Man, I came out, I'm heading to the courtroom. We got a woman bucket naked outside the courthouse. Bucket naked. She's in a birthday suit, walking the street in a birthday suit outside the courthouse. What? I once ate, stop playing with me. You ate 75 slices of cheese. What? Why are you playing on, don't play. I know it, come on. I need to see the doctor's report. Shabi, what it do? What it do? Yo, what I did before I came down to the court, I stopped at Publix. I grabbed two of the most blackest things you can grab. I grabbed a box of chicken from Publix and a cup of watermelon. I said, let me get some dessert. Man, I said, wait a minute. This is not adding up. I got a box of chicken and a thing of watermelon. I'm telling you, I'm sitting here like, and I killed, listen, no. Let me show you what I did. I'm gonna get really hood right now. Listen, I got a box of chicken. What the heck? Why did I even grab this? So I got a box of chicken. You know how the Publix, if you know about Publix. I got a box of chicken because I didn't feel like, I wanted to munch on it heading downtown. Then I got a cup of watermelon. And you know what you got to have when you have that box of chicken. You got to have the lemonade. I got a whole thing of lemonade. I was running through the store. I said, let me grab a few things. I said, oh, man. Yeah. That was really hood. All right, hit the Cash App, sweetie. Hit the Cash App. You got 600? Hit the Cash App. Hey. Oh, my goodness. Hey. So, this case, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this YSL case is going to go a little more smoother. I just want to see really how the lawyers interact in front of this judge. I want to see that. I want to see how the lawyers interact in front of this judge, cause she ain't with that BS. Not to say Glanville was a pushover, but he was, he's being more favorable to the prosecution in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I'm sure a lot of you share that opinion as well. So I want to see what happens. I definitely want to see what happens. I definitely want to see what happens. Definitely want to see what happens. Okay. Drop my lemonade. Okay. Oh, I love you too. I love you too. How would they handle? That's a good question. How would they handle Woody? I heard Woody's coming up on YouTube. I don't know how they're gonna handle him. Well, one thing I do know is Brian still did file a motion to have both the prosecutors removed, and that's based on that ex parte communication. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out. We're gonna know. Listen, we are gonna know exactly what the play is before the jury come back. We're gonna know how all that plays into play a factor in this case. We're gonna know. But I will be doing another live at 5 p.m. So you guys tune in. I have to make moves now. I got to make moves. I've been here for about an hour, but I got to make moves. I will see you guys soon. Listen. Let me say this. Both their content being removed, and this is just, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Was it intentional? Did they both remove it and just tell that to the public? I don't know. I'm just saying. They both were doing too much. They know this case is about to crank up, and they probably trying to cover their. I ain't saying. Let me just not say something. I'm just speculating. No, I didn't see Looking for Love. Oh my goodness. I didn't see that. I heard about the dating show, but I didn't see it. 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Yeah, I didn't see it. But it's interesting that both the videos have been removed. If that is the case, I'm gonna verify it, because I've never seen it happen. I've never seen it happen. We have to see. All right, guys, I got to go. See you guys at 5 p.m. With that said, I'm out.